quite a while. It's been a while. It's Africans in Diaspora Online Network. Welcome once again. So many things have been happening around the country. So it's been so. I don't know how how to put the words. So many things have been happening. For the Adamawa supplementary elections that took place on Saturday, and so many things have been happening, man. So many things, and well, that's Nigeria for you, and we are all waiting. We're all watching and waiting. This is the diaspora are waiting. Well, anyway, um, yeah, well, the other one, elections is still the coalition right now is not going. As you can see on the left side of my on the left side of the screen, the coalition is going on. I heard the 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 NEC official there in the was suspended. Just suspension. Well, I don't know. Well, let's watch and see. So many things happened. They said people were bribed and up till now. No one has been brought to book. So many things. Anyway, I just come up here to show a video of things that have been happening of the elections of Bola Tinubu, his Guinean citizenship, all the things that have been happening on social media networks, and the so-called DSS that was bribed in Adamawa, and and the illegal declaration of Binani, the woman in APC that said that they declared that she was the winner. So many things anyway, and again with Peter Obis in elections in River State, the Times reported that according to the RF released on the INEC portal, Peter Obi won the River State elections. Why that was not what INEC declared. So we'll just be playing the video for us to watch, and maybe I will come back and say a few things. All right. So right now the coalition is going on right now for Adamawa elections, and we pray for the best. And the people have been saying, actually, Sowore has been saying, why is Peter Obi silent on the Tinubu's dual citizenship claim? What do you want him to say? Is he the president of the country? If he said it now, they will say, what is his business? Now he's quiet about it. People are thinking otherwise. Anyway, that is not even the issue. That is not even the point. That is not what is at stake now. So please, I will just play this video right now. It's Arise TV. And guys, kindly follow our page, share the video, like, make comments. It's good for us to make comments. And let's make our country better. That is the aim of everything. Our country, we are blessed, and know that some few people they think they are the Lord, that they are above the law, and everybody should worship them. We're supposed to be. That is why I always say we should all wake up and take the country back for these people. Take the country back from these people. So that is it. So as you can hear, that is Chinese television. They are waiting for the final announcement from the INEC of the coalition of the supplementary elections in Adamawa State. Anyway, I'm going to leave it for now. Let's play the video. Let me just go straight to the video. All right, let's play the video of what I want to show today. So many dramas have been happening. Many dramas have been happening. So let's just watch and make comment, please, and like the page and follow us and make a comment. Thank you. Just watch and listen.
Binani Dahiru, candidate of the All Progressives Congress, as winner of the Adamawa State gubernatorial election before the collation of results in the state were concluded on Sunday. Social media was awash with reactions after a video showing Hudu Unisa Ari, the resident electoral commissioner made the declaration to the dismay of opposition agents.
The APC support the highest vote.
Following the announcement, the APC governorship candidate delivered an acceptance speech while crowds of supporters trooped out to congratulate the legally declared winner.
Adamawa stands tall on the threshold of history. My dear Adamawa State citizens and residents, I am overwhelmed and humbled by your show of love and confidence in electing me to serve as your governor as from May 29 this year and for the next 4 years. For this, I say a very big thank you.
Well, spokespersons of the All Progressives Congress, Festus Keyamo, also congratulated Binani after the declaration. Keyamo took to his official Twitter page to describe Aisha's victory as a glass-shattering watershed for Nigerian women. Well, his tweet reads, "Just woke up in the US to this wonderful news. I am screaming my head off here. This is such a glass-shattering watershed for the women of Nigeria. Huge congratulations to my sister, Senator Aishatu Dahiru Ahmed Binani. At a point in the struggle, we're speaking like a dozen times a day on the phone. Special thanks to all those who worked so hard for this. Special thanks to the good people of Adamawa State for smashing this hoodoo of gender bias. Special thanks to the APC for making this possible. Special thanks to President Muhammadu Buhari for providing such sterling leadership. Special thanks to Nigerians for your support and prayers. Now, for the women of Nigeria, please go ye forth to conquer." I mean, that would be, I can see you rolling your eyes, but it would have been a perfect speech if she actually was the winner. I mean, it really would have been amazing. But I mean, this is the issue with the spokespeople. I know you always have issues with the spokespeople, especially from the APC. But in the meanwhile, the INEC reg, Hidu Unisa Ari, is reported to have been paid huge sums of money to rig the gubernatorial election in Adamawa State. In a video that made the rounds on social media on Sunday, an alleged senior DSS official who was apprehended by some young people at City Green Hotels in Yola stated that he was told to give the rec about 2 billion naira to rig the election.
Nawa. To rig the election. Nawa. Neither actually billions of naira. Nawa. How many? Let us say 2 billion. Let us say. To me kai ka a green city ne ce ba abin da kai green abali da ba ni da ya kai ka na je da tibina an ce mu zo mu arrestin shi wallahi da laji mu zo mu arrestin shi ana aka je ba an ce mu zo mu arrestin shi kafin da shi kafin da an ko okay da kai da an ko an ce mu zo mu arrestin shi kafin aka yi da an ko don an ce ya ka kudi da shi da waye ba ni ba sani ba an ce mu su wallahi ba sani ba.
Well, meanwhile, a Professor Abdullahi Abdul Zuru, the present INEC Commissioner Northwest and former Vice-Chancellor of Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto, and Federal University of Technology, Mina, who was sent to Adamawa State as part of INEC's supervisory activities, was attacked by a mob who mistook him for the Adamawa State rec, Barrister Hudi Unisa Ari, for illegally returning Aisha Dahiru Binani as governor-elect.
Now, just wear your trouser, wear your trouser. Now,
over 60 years now.
Now, Baba. Break na Adamawa shine good. But the returning officer, they have sent. The returning officer, they are cheap.
This was frustrating to watch. I mean, the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, wow, really? This man has been disgraced. But this is so unfair that this happened to this man. And why? Because INEC dropped the ball again.
Well,
Ayo, please, your comment.
Yes, INEC dropped the ball royally in Adamawa State over the weekend, as with in other states, because there are 24 states where supplementary elections were held over the weekend. But Adamawa State is in the spotlight because of what a number of people have described as a naked dance in the marketplace, a royal show of shame, the highlight of the drama amongst dramas that have occurred in the elections this year, and INEC not being ready, as they assured Nigerians in the days leading to the elections. But speaking to Professor Zuru, yes, INEC was complicit. INEC was, not complicit, but INEC can be looked at as not producing an election that people can write home about. However, it is no justification for people to take matters into their own hands and beat up a man who then turns out to be innocent, such that they stripped him of his dignity, stripped him of his, of any sense of dignity, really. As we're speaking earlier on to Mr. Osaze Uzi, earlier on, he had talked about the fact that this is even a discouragement for people who, because this is a professor, a former VC of a university, who has been so disgraced nationally in this way and in this manner. He's been summoned to the INEC office in this morning alongside the REC who announced the illegal results. And going back to the earlier, what you had mentioned earlier on, let me speak to, because I know Doctor would speak to the illegality of what was done on Saturday. But let me speak to Mr. Festus Keyamo and Senator Binani. First of all is that Senator Binani must have known that, number one, results were not fully collated, therefore they shouldn't have called on a winner. Second of all, that the person who announced her as winner was not legally or constitutionally, there was no constitutional provision for him to announce her as winner, so illegal on all fronts. Therefore, she coming out very quickly to give an acceptance speech in itself is very suspect. And the fact that she's a serving senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, so she should know better. It just demonstrates the fact that politicians in Nigeria, unfortunately, are desperate for power enough to not mind the process, or whether it's legal or illegal, the fact that they just announce, and then anything you want to do, the very famous saying, go to court, is what they would just announce me and let everybody else go to court. And then I feel very sad as a woman because it puts a blight on what a number of people have said should be a process where women around Nigeria should be very jubilant about the fact that we could potentially produce the first elected female governor of a state, a northern state for that matter, in Nigeria. It rubbishes the process and it almost takes away the shine of that golden moment. And then Mr. Festus Keyamo, as an SAN, a senior advocate of Nigeria, a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a man who is learned by every sense, in every sense and by every word, coming out to celebrate and talk about an illegality in itself is one that he should probably delete his Twitter handle and not tweet for a while. It is disgraceful. Unfortunately, it is quite disgraceful, and a lot more is expected from him.
Absolutely. We've seen a lot of these, actually. I mean, this is, I think it's still up there, Dr. Abati.
Well, just to say this, Festus Keyamo allowed his emotions to get ahead of him. He could give the excuse that he was in the US, different time zones, because he had been cited at the spring meetings of the IMF
that's what he said in
World
the tweet.
Bank. And, maybe because of time difference, he probably did not know what was going on exactly at home. The excitement that he has shown, if the lady had actually won, it would have been properly placed. After all, there were many other persons, even during the initial election that was inconclusive, who had already started congratulating her.
Yes.
But Festus Keyamo, having now been fully apprised of the situation, and given his status as a legal practitioner, one would have expected that 24 hours later, he would have deleted that particular tweet. I wouldn't say his entire Twitter account, but that particular tweet. But I checked, it is still there. And that is what even makes it, really embarrassing. Now, the second issue about Mrs. Aisha Dahiru. I think Mrs. Aisha Dahiru, popularly known as Binani, owes the people of Adamawa State, and indeed the people of Nigeria, an apology for delivering an acceptance speech that may not work eventually when the entire process is concluded. Because as at the point the Collation Center said went on recess and said they would reconvene at 11. Fintri, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, was leading with 31,496 votes in 7 out of the 10 local governments that had been declared so far. There were still 10 local government areas to be declared. And the candidate of the APC, having our own, agents, party agents at the collation center, could not have pretended that she wasn't aware that that process had not been concluded. So what do we say to all of this? There is need for investigation, thorough investigation of what happened, and allegations that money exchange hands and all of that will require investigation, thorough investigation. Now, having done the investigations, we will expect that persons should be sanctioned. The Uduari, the resident electoral commissioner who went and engaged in this act of impunity, has been told to report to the INEC headquarters in Abuja. But another report has said that he is at large. I think he should be immediately declared a wanted person if he does not show up. Because, as I have pointed out earlier on this program, there are so many infractions of the law with specific penalties prescribed in the Electoral Act under Section 120, subsection 4. And also, if we check the Criminal Code, Section 294, you are not allowed to cause a breach of the public peace. It caused a breach of public peace. Yes. And it caused damages.
Absolutely.
And that takes me to the professor, the national commissioner. I think INEC should learn its own lessons from here. Better protection should be provided for INEC officials on the field. The professor, Professor Zulu, he was not even at the place where the crime was committed, but he was the one that aggrieved persons saw. Very and they said, sad. Oh, this is the INEC man. And they subjected him to bodily harm. Even if it was Udu Hari, the alleged offender that was apprehended, we do not recommend jungle justice. Jungle justice is unacceptable. Nobody should be subjected to extrajudicial punishment. So that is the point there. And INEC has issued a statement to say that they're going to take up the matter and ensure that the security agencies prosecute the persons who are responsible for the assault on that former vice chancellor. However, the security agencies themselves are part of the problem.
Yeah.
Was it not a DSS official that you showed in that video who was being queried? Was it not the police commissioner and other policemen who were reported to have provided protection for Uduari, the man who illegally announced a result? So this is the problem. There should be a general probe. And it's not just INEC, the Inspector General of Police, the other security agencies should ensure that people who have tried to derail the process are brought to book. And finally, INEC must show good faith in ensuring that the process is concluded.
Yeah. We
cannot have double inconclusive election, whether in Adamawa or elsewhere. The due process should continue, and the properly, validly elected person should be duly announced. And all the stakeholders in Adamawa should be advised that the entire country is watching them, and we do not want the kind of impunity, the kind of criminality, the kind of desperation that we have seen in Adamawa. The only people that will gain from this will probably be the people in Nollywood who would find this very good stuff for future entertainment.
I mean, I can't even describe it as entertainment. It is quite shocking, very embarrassing. I'm embarrassed as a Nigerian for this to be happening. I mean, there is clear indication. We have videos. We had that DSS, alleged DSS officer who said that, who claimed that he was paid 2 billion naira, and then we're still here. No one's been apprehended at this point. Well, in the same vein, reports indicating that the candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, won the February 25th presidential election in Obiokpo, local government area of Rivers State, according to reports uploaded on the INEC results viewing portal. IREV has made the rounds on social media. Ayo, Dr. Abati, this same report, I mean, we are having the same information about INEC's, what would I even call it at this point? I don't even know what to use to describe INEC at this. Is it ineptitude?
Corruption?
I mean, what can we use to describe INEC at this point? There is reports of rigging in Rivers State. I mean, the numbers are huge. I don't know if you saw that report. And then we are not even hearing anything at this point from INEC. Why is Adamawa State different from Rivers State, Dr. Abati?
Well, I mean, in this particular case, this report from Obiakpo local government, by the way, that's the local government area of the governor of Rivers State, and also from Degema, is the report of investigation carried out by Premium Times, a newspaper. And what Premium Times did was to just
tabulate the report,
compare what is reported in the INEC reporting portal, IREV, with what was announced on election day. And they pointed out discrepancies in that regard. So you give them credit for investigative journalism. However, the matter of the election has gone to the tribunal. Petitions have been filed, cross petitions have been filed. So the evidence that is available is now for the lawyers to present before the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. But I always say it, in election matters, what is required is substantial compliance. So once INEC can prove substantial compliance, well, that's where, the fireworks will probably begin.
Well, all right. We shall take our final story. Independent journalist David Hundeyin set social media buzz over the weekend after he uploaded images of a Guinean diplomatic passport bearing Bola Tinubu's details on his Twitter account. The passport also carried Tinubu's image and appears to have been issued in October 2015 with the expiration date of October 2020. David reported that the passport was apparently issued to Tinubu while his ally, Alpha Conde, was Guinean president. Tinubu had publicly claimed credit for helping Conde secure re-election in October 2015. Tinubu, whose emergence as president-elect has been challenged by Atiku Abubakar, presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, and Peter Obi, candidate of the Labour Party, has had numerous allegations of corruption and illicit activities levied against him. The latest disclosure that the president-elect obtained Guinean citizenship, however, has met a strident silence from his spokespeople who have previously been quick to defend him, while users on social media have shared mixed reactions. Let's take some tweets. This is from Spotlight, who wrote, Tinubu met his friend and brother, President Conde, in May 2015. Tinubu in June 2015 visited Conakry, Guinea, to assist in the elections. October 6, 2015, a Guinean passport was issued to Tinubu. Nigerian law doesn't allow the president to naturalize in another country. Well, Pastor wrote, David Hundeyin claimed Tinubu is female. He claimed Tinubu is 87 years old. He claimed Tinubu is Amanda Ogunlere. He claimed Tinubu didn't attend university. He has now defeated his previous claim by saying Tinubu is from Guinea. This isn't journalism. This is borderline insanity. As you know, Dr. Abati and Ayo, David Hundeyin has been very, popular in, reporting, criminality or fraud against Tinubu. This is the latest one. Really quickly, if you can answer this question, Dr. Abati, because you are a lawyer, there is the conversation whether, if you are a dual citizen, you cannot be president of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Whoever has evidence, whoever is agreed, go to court.
Absolutely, as always. Well, thank you both. Again, for your great analysis of what's trending. I'm happy to be back. Well,
yeah, I'm glad to have you.
So you have to go to court, as they always say. So good to be back again after a while. Then I'm going to play on that video again. It's still a part of what is trending. We play it now. Okay. Let me see. It's about Tinubu Guinean passport, also Fashola. It's all about elections. Okay. I'm going to play it. It's still from Arise TV. Is it from Arise TV? Then let's play it. Nigeria is our country, so we believe in our country. We know that we can definitely we'll make it work for sure. We'll make it work for sure. That is why we're all concerned. Those in diaspora, we should not give in or give up. Like just our country. And again, please, as you watch, kindly make comments, share, okay, and and like also, okay. Let's play this video now, and I will come back to round up.
And 54 seconds. That
It will be almost every state of Nigeria. The youth.
Daniel Oluwafeyi, founder of Irene Christian Ministry, for allegedly raping 2 of his church members. On Monday, the bishop was remanded in Kirikiri Correctional Center by Justice Ramon Oshodi of an Ikeja Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Court. The clergyman pled not guilty, and his counsel requested bail, which was granted by the court in the sum of 20 million naira, with 2 sureties. The judge also ordered the defendant to deposit his international passport with the chief registrar of the court after prosecution argued that he was a flight risk. The pastor came into limelight after predicting during one of his sermons that Nigeria's president-elect, Bola Tinubu, will not be sworn in as president of Nigeria on May 29th, but instead will be arrested on Inauguration Day.
How will this revolution start? Hear me. How will the revolution start? Somehow, the information will spill out that the election was rigged. Then the youth will get to the street. It won't just be Lagos. It will be almost every state of Nigeria. The youth will get to the street and they will start the protest. These protests will lead to a revolution. Peter Obi will go to court. He'll go to court. And the day for swearing him, Tinubu, will come. I saw white, I saw green. About to be sworn in that day. And everybody that I said is the next president will be rejoicing. They will say, yes, I told you. And while at that event, it looks like a very open ground, like a stadium-like center. I'm telling you what will happen. So, while at that event, military men will come in and they will arrest Tinubu. And at that point, an interim government will rule Nigeria.
Well, this whole issue has caused a lot of debate on social media, whether or not it was because he talked about Tinubu or he actually raped those women, which is the main conversation for me right now. But you know, on Monday, the pastor posted a video where he stated that during a church service that the allegations against him were untrue and were politically motivated.
I know for sure that all the attacks against me are politically motivated, and the goal is to discredit my voice as a prophet because I took a stand.
Well, let's take some reactions. This is from Omolere, who wrote, Bola Tinubu has not been sworn in. He is already going after pastors. Touch not my anointed. You may keep quiet today because he is not your pastor or because you support APC. It will soon be your turn. First, it was Prophet Tomi Arayomi. Now, Bishop Faye Daniels. Well, Pastor Sam wrote, your prophecy must not contradict the law of the land, for we know in part and we prophesy in part. Wisdom is profitable to direct. Even when God told you something and you knew it was going to contravene the law of the country, you need to apply wisdom. I mean, I think that Prophet Sam's tweet right there is quite apt. I mean, I cannot say what pastors should say or what pastors should not say at this point. I'm not a lawyer. But the main issue really at this junction is whether or not he raped those women. We have seen this type of stories. Ayo, I want to start with you because we've seen these prophets, you know, that have been convicted of rape, yes, raping their, you know, members and all of that. And even When my mother died, I believe I got some messages regarding this particular pastor. And, you know, the message was about 2 women complaining that he had, raped them. I mean, I couldn't verify the story and I was going through my whole mess. So, I mean, and I also heard that he had been arrested once because of the rape charges as well. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yes, I mean, rape is a very serious issue in Nigeria. For over the years, they've tried to get a strong conviction for it, and currently, minimum, depending on where you're looking, criminal code, under the penal code, minimum sentence, if found guilty, is 12 years, and maximum is life imprisonment in Nigeria. So it is a crime, as recognized in Nigerian law. However, the burden of proof is that when you charge someone to court an allegation of rape, it must be proven, or it should be proven. And usually the challenge in a conviction is trying to get the proof. It's one of those crimes that the proof is quite difficult to obtain because of what's involved in it. However, in terms of Bishop Faye Daniel, as with you, initially when this his prophecy became quite popular, especially before the elections, I'd done a quick search on him because just to find the authenticity, the background of the bishop. And one of the things that came up on the first page were these allegations by these 2 church members. He's not the first person as a cleric who would be accused of such. Therefore, I wouldn't say it's a surprise. However, what some people have said in terms of likening it to persecution because of what he has said is what then becomes a topic of conversation. That is this a targeted, yes, as we've often said, you have a crime, it's targeted because he said something that does not sit well with powers that be. Again, you cannot take it away from what recently happened with...
And this is what the court will look at on the basis of evidence available. Now, the domestic violence court creates a lot of problems. But until we get to the point where we review the laws on rape, who is raped, how is rape consummated, and all of that, that's where the bigger question is. But if a pastor raped somebody, he should be made to have his day in court.
All right.
Leave shamanism out of it.
We'll see what happens. We'll take another story. Well, in the same vein, the Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, has been trending on social media after stating during a live television interview over the weekend that the allegations against Nigeria's president-elect, Bola Tinubu, are unproven. The minister, when asked why there were so many controversies surrounding the president-elect, especially as it relates to his educational background, exact age, family ties, his source of wealth, and the forfeiture of $460,000 to the U.S. government over alleged involvement in illicit drug trafficking, said the controversies might be an indication of a positive turnaround for the country, adding that there is no sainthood in governance and that the focus should be on performance and efficacy. When asked about the recent claims that Tinubu allegedly obtained citizenship of Guinea, an action that violates Section 137 of the 1999 Constitution, which states that a person shall not be qualified for election to the office of president if he has voluntarily acquired the citizenship of a country other than Nigeria, the minister denied any knowledge of Tinubu's dual citizenship and said that the part of the Constitution that he recognizes is that Nigerians are allowed to have dual citizenship. Well, let's take some reactions. This is from Erio Lua. One clever tactic used by smart lawyers is to avoid the questions and use an example.
Take an oath and you sign that you swear that everything in that document, this is the truth, and you fail to indicate that you have another citizenship in that form, then you would have lied under oath. If that is true, then the law, please let me be very clear. If that is true, because I don't know what the truth is at the moment. If that is true, then that will be something that has to be looked at by a court of law that will judge it very properly. And let me just quickly chip in. With regards the prophet, the bishop, I will always side on I will only err on the
3 of the same constitution dealing with citizenship. It makes it very clear that, look, if either of your parents were born in Nigeria or you were born in Nigeria, then you are a Nigerian citizen. So I don't think that in the eyes of a reasonable person, anybody will say, oh, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is not a Nigerian within the purview of the law. and there is no evidence that he has renounced his citizenship. So there's no evidence of renunciation. However, the key issue here is that perjury. What did he put in his form EC89? I've seen some documents online, but are those documents valid?
Right.
The people who are making the allegations, can they prove it in court? And that was why I said yesterday that, you know, whoever is aggrieved should go to court, which is the Nigerian mantra, instead of, you know, propaganda or emotionalism that we have seen around the subject. But one major point that Minister Fashola made that I think is important is that he said there are no saints in politics. Whether it's in where it was with specific reference to Nigeria, where you won't find saints anyway. Also in England, where the Prime Minister is now the subject of an investigation by the Ethics Committee. Nor will you find it in the United States. So no saints in politics. I think that's something we can reflect upon.
Right.
You know, but of course, naturally, you will expect
Yeah, thank you so much for watching and listening. This has been I played different videos of what's happening in Adamawa right now, which is ongoing, the coalitions, and again, all the allegations of Bola Tinubu having a dual citizenship or having a diplomatic passport of Guinea, and again, you know, so many things has been happening. So I hope you guys have been updated a little bit. Please, I will kindly follow us on our page on the subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also make comment and like and share. It's important. Thank you so much for watching. And this is Africa's Investor Network. God bless you and God bless Nigeria. All right, thank you guys. God bless you all. Ciao. Bye bye.